I'm Maria Torres, 30 years old, the eldest sibling. The silent problem solver, always piecing things together. On graduation morning, the air carried the scent of brewed coffee and steam. My apartment felt eerily still, almost too hushed. The robe draped over a chair looked absurd, but my heart swelled with pride anyway. 5 years of late-night classes. 5 years of sorting out everyone else's messes. Out of reflex, I opened Instagram. The first story popped up. Tessa, sporting oversized sunglasses, fanning out boarding passes like a poker hand. Caption, Surprise Italy. Next mom's repost, her comments slicing through. She's the only one who makes us proud. It hit me like a velvet-covered brick. I read it again, then once more. No nod to my milestone. No mention of me, just their pride neatly rerouted. A text pinged moments later. Don't make a scene, Maria. Focus on your big day. Attached was a photo of their packed suitcases, Tessa clinging to Dad, the dog in a scarf labeled CAO. I stared at my phone, the kettle hissing in the background, and in that hum, something inside me quietly snapped into place. I grinned, opened my banking app, and hit withdraw. Are you the family's go-to fixer? Share your story in the comments. Part 2, The Family's Anchor. I used to believe love meant solving everyone's problems. When Mom's car sputtered like a broken appliance, I covered the new alternator. When Dad's back gave out, I paid for his therapy sessions. When Tessa needed a laptop for art school, it showed up with a ribbon the next day. In our family, gratitude came with a timer. Every favor I did morphed into an obligation. They called me dependable. They meant compliant, steady, a walking ATM. I set up an emergency fund at Mom's bank. My money, my name, her card, just in case, she said. That case turned into software upgrades, seminars, and weekend trips labeled networking. When I questioned it, Mom sighed, "You're doing what a good daughter does." A praise that felt like a tether. Dad called me fortunate for my online income. Tessa snapped, "You turn everything into a job." I kept paying, thinking I was buying harmony, until Harmony started sending bills. The account never emptied, just my patience did. At 6 a.m. once, Mom texted, "Did you forget our rent?" Our. She meant hers. I stared at the word like it was a betrayal laid bare. I sent the money anyway. Her thank you shrank me, not warmed me. Love shouldn't feel like a transaction. Each yes I gave made their affection louder. Each pause turned me into the bad guy. I didn't need rivals. My family filled that role. I wasn't a daughter, just a smiling bank account. Graduation day felt. Part 3, The Tipping Point. Like a celebration I wasn't part of. The stage lights burned too bright, the applause too distant. Jordan cheered from the crowd, loud enough to cover for the 10 people missing. I smiled for him, not the photos. Some wins are just for you. At home, the silence hit harder than any sound. My cap sat on the desk like an unanswered call. Then my phone lit up. Large purchase attempt. Florence Boutique Hotel. The emergency card. My card. Taxi. VIP transfer. A $4,000 suite. Emergency didn't belong here. I called Mom. She answered, all cheer. Graduate. Don't spoil today with negativity. Why's my emergency fund paying for a luxury hotel? Everything's an emergency when you're chasing a dream. Whose dream? She sighed. You don't have a family of your own. You wouldn't get it. That one cut deep. The account's mine, Mom. My deposit's my name. What do you want? A medal for buying groceries? Then her go-to line for big moments. You'd be nothing without us. Tessa's the one who makes us proud. It wasn't anger that followed. It was clarity, sharp and cold. I opened my laptop. The dashboard lit up like a stark truth. Rent, tuition, utilities, workshop flights. Every transfer in my name. Years of yes lined up like receipts. Mom kept talking, guilt cloaked as love. I barely listened. My cursor lingered over disabled card. Don't be small, Maria. It's ugly. I clicked. A soft chime spoke for me, not vengeance, just a line drawn in code. The kind that doesn't shout, just stops. I took screenshots, proof against rewritten stories. The group chat erupted. Dad, don't screw this up. Tessa, if you wreck my trip, you're blocked. I sent one PDF, every deposit highlighted. This isn't a family fund. It's mine. Cards off at midnight. Plan ahead. Read receipts stacked like a jury's vote. Mom typed, deleted, typed again. Don't shame us. People are watching. That night, the Florence Hotel called. I offered one night's payment, enough to soften the landing. After that, they'd cover their own way. The manager thanked me. The silence that followed felt deserved. Jordan crashed on my couch, just in case. He didn't preach, just stayed. I slept like I was submerged, then broke the surface. Morning brought light, coffee, and steady resolve. I scribbled 3 rules on a sticky note. 1. My accounts are mine. 2. Emergencies are rare. 3. Love doesn't need a receipt. I stuck it to my monitor and smiled. Tonight, Florence learns the card's done. The next day, my inbox. Part 4, the aftermath, looked like a gallery of guilt. Messages from relatives I hadn't heard from in years. Aunt Donna, your mom's worn out. Be gentle. Uncle Ray, family doesn't lock each other out. Even a neighbor I barely knew. You're breaking your mother's heart. Each message carried the same undertone. Erase the boundary, shrink back down. They didn't care about the truth. Just that piece looked neat from the outside. I stared at the screen until the words blurred, coffee cooling beside me. For once, I didn't respond. I let their words fade in the inbox. Instead, I opened my dashboard. Orders shipped. Refunds processed. Numbers that stayed put. Numbers that didn't beg or blame. The calm felt strange, like stability without strings. At 12:07 a.m., Mom texted. Hotel says the card failed. Fix it now. 10 minutes later. If Tessa's stuck in a cheap place, that's on you forever. I didn't reply. Jordan slept on the couch, arm over his face. I stared at the ceiling until dawn, realizing something bold. Peace isn't always silent. Sometimes it's the absence of chaos. By morning, Mom had rallied cousins, aunts, anyone who'd ever used my Wi-Fi. The family chat blazed, selfish, ungrateful. After all we've done. Then the kicker. Tessa's the only one trying to create something beautiful. I nearly laughed. Instead, I muted the chat. The day rolled on without their clamor. I hired a logistics expert, trained a new packer, and learned the office coffee maker leaks if you overfill it. Small, fixable problems, ones I could handle. That night, another call from Florence, a weary hotel manager. He asked if the card would restart. I said no, but offered one more night's payment to give my family time to adjust. He thanked me. I thanked him. It was the simplest talk I'd had in months. A week later, they returned. Mom's first texts were back. Hope you're pleased with yourself. Then, you embarrassed us in front of everyone. I typed, you managed that on your own. Deleted it. Sent, hope your flight was okay. She called. I ignored it twice, then got a voicemail. Do you know how humiliating it was to switch hotels? That sentence said it all. She wasn't sorry for the deception, just for getting caught. I didn't answer. The silence that followed wasn't a punishment, it was a boundary standing firm. For the first time in years, I could breathe without needing approval. Part 5, the confrontation. 2 weeks later, Mom called again. Her voice sugary, the kind she used when she wanted something. Sunday dinner, just us. Let's sort this out. I paused, then agreed, not out of longing, but to see who they were without my money propping them up. I brought a pie from the local bakery, the kind she used to love. Their house felt smaller than I remembered. No music, no aroma of food, just tension thick as static. Mom opened the door with an overly bright smile. There's my girl, she said, eyeing the pie box. You didn't need to bring anything. I know, I replied, brushing past. Dad sat at the table, silent. Tessa scrolled her phone, ignoring my presence. Mom served food that tasted like an apology left in the microwave too long. Then she started. Italy was messy. Things got exaggerated. I set my fork down. You lied. You used my money. You called me selfish for saying no. What got exaggerated? She blinked, her smile faltering like someone losing their grip. You make it sound so cold. It was cold, I said. You just didn't feel it because I was paying for the comfort. Tessa looked up. God, Maria, you're obsessed with being in charge. You loved playing the hero until we stopped praising you. I leaned back, calm. You mean until I asked for accountability? Her lips tightened. You humiliated us. No, I said softly. You did that when you used an emergency fund for a vacation and called it ambition. Dad cleared his throat. Enough. We're family. We move forward. I met his gaze. Then start by owning what you did. He didn't. None of them did. So I stood. I'm not here for closure. I'm here to be clear. You don't get access without respect. You don't get comfort without honesty. If you want a relationship, it starts with truth, not guilt. Mom's voice broke. We were scared. You're all we had. No, I said. I was convenient. There's a difference. The room fell silent, just forks and breaths. Then Mom whispered, You sound like your father when he's mad. I smiled. Maybe he taught me something worthwhile. I grabbed my coat, left the pie untouched on the counter, and walked out without slamming the door. The quiet trailed me down the driveway, not a win, not a loss, just balance settling where it belonged. Part 6, The New Beginning. The weeks after that dinner were calm, almost unnervingly so. No calls, no guilt trips, just mornings free of dread. I poured myself into my work, my health, and the small joys I'd neglected for years, cooking breakfast, reading before bed, rediscovering what peace felt like. Then one Sunday, Mom called again, her voice gentler this time. We're having dinner. Come if you'd like. I almost declined, then realized wanting wasn't needing. So I went. The table seemed smaller, the meal simple. Tessa wasn't there. Mom set a photo by my plate. Me at 6, clutching a paper volcano. You've always made me proud, she said softly. I just didn't say it well. Her voice wavered, not defensive but human, worn, remorseful, real. Something in me eased, not for what was, but for the chance to let it go. It wasn't a full apology, but it was honest, and that was enough. We talked about work, not money, her garden, not guilt. When I left, she hugged me, gentle, not possessive, just a moment of connection. At home, I set the photo on my desk beside a note I'd written months ago. You don't fund love, you live it. For the first time, those words rang true. Boundaries hadn't shattered my family. They'd revealed who was willing to rebuild. If you've ever felt guilty for choosing peace, know this. Walking away isn't cruel. It's clarity. It's self-respect. And maybe it's the first step toward finding home.